What's going on, guys? It's Pre from Parallax Entertainment coming at you today with the 7.2.5 guide series for the Shadow Priest. Time for some new content, boys. Let's get it. Just before we jump in, I did want to let you guys know down in the description for the video will be a link to our Discord. That's a new thing you guys can check out. You guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, anything like that, pop in there. That'd be great. There'll also be a link to our Twitter and Patreon page. If you guys can give us some love on those, that would also be awesome. But let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. 7.2.5 Shadow Priest. Let's get it. Alright guys, first thing we're going to look at here is the original patch notes for 7.2.5, and it looks like just about nothing is going to change for Shadow Priest. First thing it says is Mind Bender now generates 8 insanity per swing instead of 4, so basically your little Mind Bender is now going to double its insanity generate. Not really a huge like DPS boost or anything like that, but it will help you generate a little bit more insanity, help you stay in void form. Also, if you're spec'd into it, especially if you're running like Surrender to Madness, this would definitely help you out a bit by just drawing in more insanity that way. And the other thing we can see from the original patch notes is that Shadow Word Pain, now the damage from that is increased by 10%. So that's really actually pretty nice. Just a nice little boost to our dot damage. And that's all that came along with the original patch notes. When I first read this, I was like, oh, that's pretty crazy. Pretty much absolutely nothing is going to change. Small DPS increase from the dot damage, and then potentially some more, insanity generation if you're spec'd into it and all that kind of stuff from the Mind Bender. But then after 7.2.5 launched, within like half day, they did all these hot fixes. So next, I just want to pop in the hot fixes from the first day that 7.2.5 launched and show you guys that. Okay guys, so here are the notes from the hot fix for 7.2.5. These came out like half a day after it launched, so the same day that the patch launched, they came out with these hot fixes, and I gotta say, this is actually pretty awesome. So in the original notes for 7.2.5, there was pretty much nothing that changed about Priest, and I was kind of upset about that. I was like, wow, it's just going to be another, patch of doing literally the same exact thing and seeing kind of the same results, just kind of boring. But when I saw this, I actually got pretty excited. So we're getting 13% increased damage to Mind Blast, 18% increased damage to Mind Flay, and a 10% increased damage to Void Bolt. So just straight up all damage buff for Shadow Priest, especially single target. I think that's pretty freaking awesome. Mind Blast, Void Bolt, we're using those every time they're up off a cooldown. We're just getting straight damage from that. That's great. Really helps a single target. And then as well as Mind Flay, that 18% is actually awesome because Mind Flay is the only real major AoE spell that Shadow Priests have, and it really doesn't hit all that hard. So to have that 18% increased damage, that's pretty awesome. And it also, besides just helping out the AoE for Shadow Priest, it does help towards single target as well, since we are using Mind Flay as our filler when all of our other spells are on cooldown. So just overall, the patch notes, the hot fixes, just awesome. Just straight damage increase for Shadow Priest. It's great. I love to see this. Okay guys, and another thing I want to touch on real quick was the one and only nerf that we've seen for Shadow Priest, at least so far in this patch. That's going to come to our 4-set bonus. So before the patch, it was you got a 4 seconds of reduced cooldown on your Void Bolt. Now it's only going to be 2.5 seconds. So to be honest, if they had to nerf anything for Shadow Priest, I'm glad it was this. So basically you lose a 1.5 seconds of basically insta-casting Void Bolts, which honestly it wasn't that great. I would notice when I was in that 4-second phase of just blasting Void Bolts, I didn't see a huge DPS increase. In fact, if I didn't crit on like 50% or more of those Void Bolts, I'd actually lose a little bit of DPS. The only real nice thing about that is you can move while maintaining DPS, because you're able to move for those 4 seconds that you were casting Void Bolt, so you could adjust, your positioning, or you could move, out of some mechanics and still be maintaining your DPS. That's really the only downfall, is that you lose a 1.5 seconds. So, like I said, I mean, if they had to nerf anything, I'm glad it's this. They may come out with more hotfixes that nerf something else. I hope not, but as far as I know, this is really the only nerf or even negative thing that's happening to Shadow Priest in 7.2.5 as far as they've let out so far. Okay guys, next we're going to talk about the two new legendaries for Shadow Priest. We'll just jump right into it. The first one is the Heart of the Void. It's the new chest piece, and the ability from this is going to be Void Eruption deals 300% increased damage and heals you for 40% of the damage done. So that's actually pretty nice. I mean, Void Eruption doesn't deal a whole lot of damage, but 300% increase is actually pretty huge, and if you have a ton of adds that are dotted and you hit Void Eruption, that's going to hit all of them. So I think that's actually going to be huge AoE damage. And then obviously you just get the bonus of getting a 40% healing buff from that. Just 40% of the total damage you do is going to be healed. So honestly, if you have like 5, 6 plus targets that are dotted and you hit with that, it's not only going to do a crap ton of damage, it's going to heal you for a lot too. So it's honestly could be like a lifesaver type thing. If you're getting low, you pop that off, it's going to probably heal you for a decent chunk of your health, especially just, I mean, the more adds you have dotted, the more damage it's going to do and the more healing it's going to do. So it's definitely a pretty nice legendary. I don't know that it's overall sustained that much more damage, because if you're only single target, that's not going to help you out a whole lot. There's definitely like the wrists that increase your damage from Void Bolt, those are a lot better. I think that's still going to be better for single target. AoE though, that's definitely something to think about. You might want to maybe roll this legendary for like big AoE fights. So the next legendary that is coming out, or has come out with 7.2.5, is the new ring. It's called Soul of the High Priest, and I'm just gonna say it now, guys, this is definitely going to be like the best in slot ring that all Shadow Priests are going to be after. I mean, this thing is sick. So let's take a look at what it does here. First and foremost, it's going to give you crit, haste, and mastery. Haste and mastery are the top two, and then you get that crit bonus as well for our stats. So that in itself is just awesome for a ring. But what I really want to look at is that it's equipped. So you gain one of the following talents based on your specialization. Obviously, we're looking at Shadow Priest. So what you get with it is the ability Twist of Fate. Now, this is your level 15 talent. What this does is, after damaging a target below 35% health, you deal 20% increased damage, and you get 20% increased healing basically the entire time you're attacking a target below 35% health. So that's awesome. I know in my previous guide, I've stated that this is what you guys should be rolling with your talent. I'd still definitely stick to that, but with the ring, you get that. So you no longer have to have that talent chose. You can pick one of the other two talents. I mean, that's pretty crazy. So in the level 15 talent tree, you're going to be able to have two different talents chosen, basically, if you have the ring, right? So you'll have the ring that gives you Twist of Fate, and then you can choose, say, Fortress of Mind, which increases Mind Flay and Mind Blast damage dealt by 10%, and also the insanity that they generate by 20%. So you can have both Twist of Fate and Fortress of Mind selected when you have the ring. So you're getting 10% increased damage all the time throughout the entire fight. Always, you're getting 10% increased damage from Mind Flay and Mind Blast, as well as the extra insanity that you generate with that ability, and then you're also getting the extra quote-unquote execute with having Twist of Fate from the ring, which, like I said, increases damage by 20% to targets lower than 35% health. So I mean, that's literally freaking insane. You get to have two talents chosen in that tier. It's so awesome. I really think that everybody's going to want this ring. I'm definitely can't wait for the day I get it. I'm going to put that right on. I probably never take it off until the next patch. But yeah, those are the two new legendaries. Chest is pretty nice, but this ring, guys, I'm telling you guys, it's going to be what everybody wants. It's what I'm already looking forward to now. And guys, that's about it for Shadow Priest in 7.2.5. Really not a whole lot is going to be changing for us. We went over everything here, so just kind of a quick recap. So we looked at the patch notes original. We get the increased damage from Shadow Word Pain, and as well as the increased insanity generator from Mindbender. Not a whole lot. I really thought that's all it was going to be, and I was really upset. They did come out with a hot fix, like I said, on the first day, where we get the increased damage to Mind Blast, Mind Flay, and Void Bolt. So that's actually pretty awesome. We get some more, just straight up damage buff from that. Then we looked at our only really negative or nerf, which was to our 4-set bonus, but I'm really not upset about it. Like I said, if we had to lose anything, I'm glad it was that instead of something, like just losing straight up damage from one of our abilities. So not too bad overall. And then we also looked at the two new legendaries that came out for Shadow Priest. I'm telling you guys, that ring it's something crazy. It's gonna be freaking awesome. I'm already jealous if anyone has it yet, but that's definitely what I'm banking on. That's the next legendary I want so bad. So yeah, perfect guys. That'll do it for the update on the 7.2.5 Shadow Priest guide. Make sure you guys check out my previous guides for rotations. I know it still says 7.2, but like I said, not a whole lot's changed. So the rotation, stat priority, all that kind of stuff really isn't going to change a whole lot with 7.2.5 as of right now. We'll see what happens as the expansion goes on. We start getting, you know, more gear and stuff from Tomb of Sargeras, and we'll make another Shadow Priest video here probably in the next few months going over all that kind of stuff if anything does change. Yeah, that'll do it today guys for the Shadow Priest 7.2.5 guide. Really appreciate you guys watching. If you liked the video, it helped you out, make sure you drop a like down below, and if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, drop that down below as well. And as always guys, please make sure you subscribe to Parallax Entertainment. We have almost broken 2K subscribers. We're getting so close. We really appreciate your guys' support, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. And do remember, we do have a couple other 7.2.5 guides out already, and we'll have a bunch more coming out very, very shortly. So remember, hit that notification button when you subscribe. That way you'll get you know, a notification, a little ding every time that we post a new video. That way you guys can check it out right away. And then I just want to touch on, just again, we do have that Discord link down below. Make sure you guys check that out. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, anything for future content you guys want us to do for you, make sure you post it in there. That's the most direct way to us. We'll see that almost instantly if you post anything in there. So make sure you guys check that out. Alrighty guys, this was Pre from Parallax Entertainment. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video guys. Take it easy.